wow from that one.
Yeah, Kazap, right. All right, guys, we're going to get away from the darkness and the ugly.
No, we're not. We're bringing Andrew on.
Yeah. So Andrew Rivers is going to come on, and then you're going to come back on the end and do our fun facts. All right? You go, goodbye, Ken. Get out. Bye. We have a guest.
So long. Farewell.
Fine. You work it out.
Boo.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Titus podcast, the very funny Andrew Rivers. Andrew.
The founder of Hipster Yoga.
I'm not applauding. Ken,
bring your daughter to work day.
Did you see how Ken
you guys do. It has started. It used to, when you had your spiky hair, you looked like his son, but you definitely do look like you could be his daughter now.
Wow.
Is there any way to do a 2-shot of them? Look at this, people. This is crazy. It is really crazy.
Yeah, it's weird. My dad used to travel. When I was a kid,
you don't know my birthday.
My dad traveled up. We lived in Kent, Washington for a while. I think I would say I'm making this up, but I would say that my father met your mother at one point and went back on a business trip. And
your dad doesn't.
I just not. By the way, you're the reason I won't do 23andMe. I don't want to know.
He won't.
It makes me want to order it. I got some back child support payments.
He refuses. I wanted to get it and put it in his stocking for Christmas, and he said never. Never, because of his dad.
Because my dad traveled around California all the time and got divorced 5-6 times, and they were all because he was fucking around, except for the last one. It was all because he was messing around.
And that's just because he couldn't anymore.
Right.
The last one.
You wouldn't owe money for his misdiscretions, right?
Doesn't matter.
He doesn't want those people misdiscretions.
I don't know.
Yeah,
indiscretions.
I fixed it.
College is overrated.
By the way, even more proof that he's my kid. He's related to me.
That is true.
So I just think that there's a connection. So I'm afraid.
He's just afraid that he'll find family that then want to be family. Because his dad banged a waitress somewhere.
All my family's dead. I'm fine with that. It's good. No, oh man, what happened?
The house is full.
I got to go places now. I got to do stuff. I got to invite people to things. I don't want to do that.
And your family hasn't always worked out so well when you did have them. So we have Aunt Kathy, though. She's awesome.
Aunt Kathy's awesome. We have some family that's awesome. Shannon. We have some.
Two of my favorite people.
Yeah. Your family is now my family, and they're awesome.
Yep.
You know, about the same percentage.
No. Well, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yes. So, can we talk about the product that he likes? Can we do that? Do we have that today?
We can.
Let's do it.
Early? Sure.
It's not early. No, we're 25 minutes in.
Yeah, it's supposed to be after 45.
People are going to want to watch the best part of the podcast with me. So if you do the ad early, you'll get the viewers still.
Oh,
Whereas if it's just you ranting for 40 minutes.
All right, so let's talk about comedy. All right, let's don't do it yet. No,
let's not talk about comedy.
No, I want to talk about comedy because, and I've said this before, I don't know if I said it on the air, but Andrew, so I have a theory about stand-up, and I've had, how it works and how you're supposed to do it. And when he was a wee lad, very small boy, he came out with his father,
13 years ago.
father.
Yeah.
It was 13 years ago. He came to me, "Can I please do it on your show? I'd like to be on the show." And so I put him on the show, and he did a great set in front of a packed house at a casino. And then since then we've been friends, and there's two people that have done it, and the other guy quit comedy. But you're the only person that when I gave you the advice, took the advice. I'm not afraid. You didn't just get it from me though.
Well, I mean, I have a book with 200 signatures, but you were the driving force behind it. I mean, I even told you this story is like, as I'm making my way through my career and I'm trying to do every other sentence as a punchline, and I would go, "This is impossible."
Oh, tell them what you're talking about.
So his comedy advice is write out the story as if without any punchlines, just as it happened.
Because we all have anecdotes that are funny. That in the end is
funny.
And
at the end of every sentence, hit enter.
Then you try to go add a punchline, and if there's nothing funny, maybe you don't need that part of the story, right?
Or it's just should blow the feather up, be somewhat amusing. I got this speech too.
Yeah, blow the feather up. I didn't get that part of it.
Oh.
So that's the theory of comedy.
I'm top tier, VIP.
Oh, yeah, I didn't get the Patreon
you're
level
general
top.
admission.
But by the way, she does have to pay a fee every year. So
that's a good point.
Sleep next to you.
Boy.
Boom.
Boom.
So So basically, I think it was Carvey or someone told me that your entire job as a comic is never let the feather touch the ground. So even if you do a punchline that's a little punchline, it's not even just an amusing aside. It blows it up a little bit and never lets it touch the ground.
Part of the journey, not a hard laugh, but
right, because you know what's coming. If you have we all have anecdotes. At the end of the anecdote, we all have a big laugh. Every normal human being has a story, and then Grandma had a heroin needle sitting out of her arm after you told the whole story about Thanksgiving. Our job is to make the journey.
I feel so sorry for you.
Our job is to make the journey funny, and so the way you do that is you write out every fact as specific as you can, and then you write a punchline for that fact. And you got mad at me one time. He's like, because you said it was hard.
I was trying to write my own shit, and I'm going, this is impossible. And I was like, I'm gonna put on Love Is Evil, which was my favorite show, and I was like, if this motherfucker isn't putting a punchline every other sentence, I'm going to text him and chew him out. And then I was like, well, goddamn, I guess it is possible.
I love that he's like, then I don't have to be funny. Yeah. If he's not funny every sentence, then I don't fucking have to write all these punchlines.
Yeah, Love Is Evil pounds, man. It's like joke. It's really depressing to watch sometimes.
No, it's not.
But you're the happy ending of the story.
Yeah.
Maybe those aren't the right choice of words.
Can we please,
No, I didn't mean it like...
Can we please talk about you then? Okay, so I would like to go, all your new material. You are doing a new show, Beauty for Ashes, and by the way, your first show got you accepted into the Fringe Festival in Scotland.
Yay!
That's crazy. So you don't even understand how crazy that is.
I'll be at the Drawing Room.
And I will be at?
August 3rd through 28th, and you will be Studio 2.
Studio 2. So we're going to do a month in Scotland, which is great.
So everybody buy plane tickets.
I can't. You invited me last night. I can't wait to...
No,
oh, God,
we invited you, but said you had to stay somewhere else.
Oh. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
With Steve Hofstetter, if he's there. So you do it though. You're doing a show called Beauty for Ashes. It's about the trip through cancer with your mom, and it's one of those. It's when you tell people. It's like when I used to tell people about I'm going to do a bit about my mom's mental illness, or I'm going to do a bit about my dad. My dad was abusive. They're like, that's going to be funny. It was hilarious. And you did it. And I saw you smoke every show. And I work with him in Spokane. And dude, you do it, man. You do this. And so many comics. I watch guys that get Netflix specials. And there's this 4 or 5 sentence setup, like a paragraph for one laugh. And I'm not going to say who. I was listening to someone on Comedy Central Radio driving yesterday. And the setup was a minute and then one laugh.
Yeah.
And I don't know why the audience stays for it, because
I think they don't know any better.
Yeah, is it just a rhythm? So that guy's got a minute rhythm.
Yeah. I mean, their standard for what excellence is different than ours too. So
ours,
you
put me in there.
Ours,
very nice.
At this table.
Yeah, very nice.
I mean, I'm opening for you tonight. So
Lori Kilmartin is the same way. She was one of the first people outside of you that I've heard say, because she wrote on Conan, she said on the podcast that every sentence has to have a punchline.
Every story is just a series of one-liners.
Yes, exactly.
Jackie
Cation, same way. Jackie Cation, I was going to say pounds on a room. I mean, excellent. Yes, so Andrew is opening for me tonight. It's just going to be 3 of us. The special guest canceled. So I was like, oh, good. It'll be our clubhouse again. But this won't be out. This will come out after. Probably.
Doesn't matter. So this Wednesday we are doing a show, and then this is coming on Thursday.
We needed them to buy tickets.
I will.
She's only sold 7 so far. It's really bad.
So what do you want to do with your career? Like, what if after all these, you're 13 years in now too? You guys are both 13 years in comedy, which is.
When did you start?
January. Would it be 2009?
See, I was March 8th, 2010.
All right, so you're 13, 12, and what do you like? So. For me, it's like so at 12 years, I had this. That's when I stopped doing my shitty comedy, and I wrote Norman Rockwell, and I gave up. I just took all my material and went nope, and I started over. Are you guys feeling that? You're doing it with this new show.
Yeah.
Because it took you a minute before I even convinced you. I said, this is what you need to do, and you were like, I don't think that'll be funny. I go, I guarantee it'll be funny. And because I remember you told me that, and I was like, I'm sorry, what? I'm not the guy to tell that
This was back before I was writing the show. I wanted to write some cancer material because my mom was fighting it then. And I remember telling him, I had come up with some jokes that are in the show now. I love them so much. And I was like, but nobody's going to identify with pancreatic cancer caregiver. And he said, no, it's not that. It's pain and suffering and any kind of illness or helping anyone through anything. It's universal, everybody. And I remember the first night I tried it was in Montana, and and it was like it rocked. And then I had to go back to my other stuff, and I was like, this isn't as good.
Was it? I thought it was Austin. Was it? What? Maybe you were talking about
it. the original intro jokes.
Oh, the couple jokes. Yeah.
Like about my mom being diagnosed. Remember, I used to have the pancreatic cancer bouncy house joke. It was just like 15 jokes about what was going on, because when you're going through that, it's hard to get on stage and talk about, you know, something innocuous. You want to talk about, I'm taking care of my mom and she's got cancer.
This is my therapy also, you know, because when the audience laughs, you go, I'm not crazy, you know?
Exactly. Yes. And you feel less alone.
Yeah.
You know,
right? But that's why when I didn't get it till I wrote this about my mom's mental illness, and I thought there's no way anybody's going to get this. And man, so many people have depression, or you know, or they have a family member that's like, you know, and they got it, and the that's why this article came out from.
And you made it really funny too. So
it's not just
your mom's mental illness. I can't identify with any of that stuff, but that show, holy crap, Norman Rockwell is Bleeding was like. I remember the first time I saw it, because you made me watch all your specials and your TV show when we started dating. First time we ever hung out.
First date.
He handed me his Titus box set and sent me home with it. And I was like, okay.
You study that and let me know what you think.
Exactly. You did, remember?
If you can't like me...
No, it's a good...
If you can't listen, this is me. If you don't like this guy, I wasn't saying it's impressive. I'm saying, listen.
Here's all the red flags.
Exactly. In joke form. All of my horror is here with punchlines, so it's easier to hear instead of us having dinner one night and you just staring at me across the table like, holy fuck, I got to get out of here. I'm calling it Uber.
What did I get into?
Exactly. I wasn't doing it to brag.
Can I see your steak knife? I just want
to... She reaches across and takes anything sharp. No, you can eat with your hands. I'm okay with that. That's what I was more worried about. I wanted you to hear what had gone on. And so, and it's easier to stomach instead of having me break down in tears on a date. And then my dad.
That did happen.
That happened.
We had to warm you up for that, you know.
Okay, got it.
That was after you liked me, though.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing about comedy is that she didn't even. The divorce was raging, and she came out to LA, and she saw me at the Ontario Improv, and you hadn't seen me live because when you had booked the club, you didn't watch my show.
No, I was working. I was busy.
Right.
Yeah. So I hadn't seen, and then we started kind of dating, and I thought, oh my gosh, because I really loved comedy, and I thought, if this guy sucks, what happens if he's just horrible? And so I was very stressed. I flew out here. I had to fly out to California to watch him at the Ontario Improv, and I'll never forget sitting in the back with some kind of martini or something and just thinking, oh shit, you were so good. It was 5th annual Into the World tour, which is still one of my favorites, if not my favorite.
Where we played a recording of an airplane crashing into the Twin Towers.
But I do remember thinking, oh, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, and now we're married. Boom.
Boom.
They got to hand you the box set. All right.
I love hearing the story about how my parents meet. It's so pretty. So cute.
Right? Isn't it nice?
It gives me
Don't
hope.
do math, though.
But I mean, he's got way more mental illness than me, and he found you, so it gives me hope for the future.
You're going to find it's going to be out of a Russian model. It's going to be real. She's already a billionaire.
No Russian models. I got an embargo.
Ukrainian. Should be a Ukrainian model.
Already a multi-billionaire.
Yeah.
Her whole family's dead, so she just needs you.
By the way, good people with good parents. The fetus, Ryan, fetus used to be on the podcast, met this girl, now lives in this crazy home. She's like the head.
He's no longer on the podcast.
No, I still am, though. Get on that.
So I'm trying. At Flappers on a Wednesday.
All right.
Hey, with Andrew. So Andrew's parents are great people.
Yep.
And his dad was how we first met him, because if you guys live near Seattle, you know Bob Rivers was on the radio, and he used to just help you pump shows, always would help us pack shows out.
The whole crew was great.
Yeah.
It was great. It was one of the few shows in the country that I enjoyed. You know, when you get comic.
So when your Love is Evil special was coming out, you did a phoner with them, which is awful for a comic to try and riff bits over the phone, but you liked them enough to at least call them up and promote your thing. And,
but
and I happen to be in studio and they're like, tell Titus a joke. And I was like, this is going to be great. And then it ate shit and you made fun of me.
What was the joke? Do you remember?
I do remember this. I remember this.
It's on my YouTube channel, actually. You give myself a plug here. But
Is it?
yeah.
That's
the whole
awesome.
audio. And then you gave me a nice 2-minute lecture of comedy. And I played that back every couple months to be like, what does it mean? I don't understand.
So your dad no longer is in radio,
Nope,
and
retired,
now they're
lives in Vermont,
and tell
lives
the
in the
people what he
woods.
does now. This is how good his parents are.
He makes maple syrup in his backyard, and he has pet bees and a garden, and that's how he's getting through.
See, Andrew and I identify in that way.
Yeah,
I love it. There's a joke you do.
My dad raised bees when I was growing up.
He does a joke in his act about it, about being high, and it was very funny about it. And you stay and watch Netflix, and man, we're running out of bees.
Oh yeah. Good. Need a good bee documentary. If anyone, I just saw a bee movie a couple years ago, but
if
So his
anyone
dad's
happens
helping.
to know one,
if there's any good, bees are like a serious thing. Bart and I joke about
They really are.
Bart. But again, I owe you another thing because you introduced me to Bart. Thanks very much. And
You're welcome.
but then I wrote a bit about him, and I got 3 million views on Facebook. So.
Yeah, you are. Yeah,
There is actually
Bart is one of the few people in life that you meet and you go, "Oh, that's a character. That's a. And he's legit. That dude. He's
there
legit.
is an article by Backyard Beekeeping that has a list of the top 5 must-watch honeybee and beekeeping documentaries.
Fuck yeah.
I'm sending this to you.
Can't wait.
Top 5, which means
that's
there's
gonna
5.
give me a lot.
Isn't there a bee problem though? There's literally a bee problem
Yes.
right now.
Slade Ham, who's a comic out of Houston, actually was in a bar drinking, and I think this is how this went, and got in a conversation about this, as we all do when we're drinking, and started a honey company that he was selling at Whole Foods for a while. I don't know if he still is or not, but anyway, it's a problem.
So he still became the corporate bee master and sold honey, sold their product. He didn't help the bees.
He gave the bees a job so they weren't homeless and addicted to meth.
And well, since Biden take over, bee employment has dropped. Bee unemployment has dropped to 0.1%. It's crazy. They're working like a motherfucker because of Biden. Even the bees wouldn't go to work during Trump. They were locked down.
If Ken were here, he'd make a Buzz pun reference, and he's not anything. Okay.
Highland offstage going, I can't. Oh, gotta stop.
Let me at him.
So what do you now? So give us your website. Give us what you get.
Andrew J. Rivers on Instagram, YouTube, OnlyFans, whatever service you want.
And you did. You always give me lectures about. You always give me lectures about my
Get
social
on
media.
TikTok. That's
I gotta
where
get on
everyone's
TikTok.
at. You
I
gotta
can't learn
post
that.
the stuff.
Can't learn that shuffle
I mean,
dance.
hire
I'm
a little
trying-
college
ask her.
intern.
He really is
I'm trying to
trying the
learn that
dance at
shuffle
home.
dance. So I can.
He'll sometimes just be doing it. Not,
That one,
I can't
what's
tell.
the thing you do? The what is
flossing.
Yeah, the flossing.
Andrew, if you guys have seen the GIF of him flossing that people sometimes will post in response to funny stuff you say, that was Andrew
my
that took
contribution
that
to the
video,
world right
and
now.
he and I were in the back. That's your laugh you can hear. He and I lost it. Andrew also is the one that videoed the fight in Timonium.
We're gonna have to do it. We've decided that. I talked to Andrew on the way over.
Pandemonium and Timonium.
The pandemonium. We are going to put that up, the whole thing. Ken and I are going to go through it. We're actually revamping the studio right now, but once we're done with that, we're going to put that up, and then we're going to do a reaction video to it. And we will talk you through what happened in Timonium. We've shown a little bit of it, but it's me screaming out and going after a heckler. So long. God, that was a bad night.
So this episode brought to you by Athletic Greens,
Yes.
a product that several of us at this table use every day. I've used Andrew as an example, and now he's here to tell you about it. You've been taking it
for like 3-4 years. Yep.
And
personally vouch, haven't missed a day, feel great, love it, poop right on time.
what is the right time for one to poop?
Usually mornings, but it's
right.
pretty. The point is, it's expected, and it comes out, in one piece.
So there is there is a time you won't take calls. What you're saying?
Yeah, sure.
Or you can take calls.
I mean, I can because it's quick, man. It's out. I'm done. If I'm loitering, it's just watching TikToks.
All right, stop now.
That's how he has time to make TikToks. So
it's great.
If you're taking Athletic Greens, you're absorbing over 75 high quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, which helps that poop happen right on time. Adaptogens. It helps with gut health. It helps, like you're talking about, your nervous system.
Even sometimes if I
system.
feel like a sniffle coming on and I take it, it clears out my sinus, and it's
your
amazing.
Energy, recovery, focus, helps with aging, because this is all the stuff that your body needs to function optimally and
75.
that we don't get. Yeah, Andrew's 50.
Yeah, right?
Look how great he is. So why did you start taking it? Do you remember?
My brother was using it, and he was like, you got to try this stuff. And I took a photo on my phone, and then like 3 days later, it popped up as a ad. I don't know what stuff they're using, but and I was like, oh yeah, that's the stuff. And because I'm, our lifestyle is not the
best,
healthiest, or
Taco Bell is a health food restaurant now in America. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Our lifestyle specifically, though, as comedians, you mean, right?
Yes. Well, I mean, his aside, the car wash guy, but
I'll explain that. So the best description of me on stage is Andrew says, "You're like those big blow up things they put out in front of the car wash on stage," and I was like, "You're right," and fuck you.
So this helps with that,
Yeah.
because we have weird hours. Only Taco Bell is open when we leave the club at night or whatever.
Alcohol is free at the club.
yes,
that's a problem. It's a
Yeah,
problem.
that too.
So, and I will say
So are
that
cheese
as
fries.
Athletic Greens, it's weird if I don't have it. Here's the word I noticed about it: if I don't have it, I notice it. That's my head. Like you said, my head gets a little weird. Because alcohol's free.
Also,
maybe you should double your dosage.
I think so.
Your head's
I
a little
get you.
weird.
And I have a giant head.
it's because, by the way, with not just COVID, we also have cold and flu season, which seems like insult to injury, but we do. And so you gotta get your body functioning and your immune system functioning.
How do we get it?
So what you do is just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. You don't need to take a million different pills or supplements.
And it tastes good too.
And it tastes good, which I couldn't believe.
No, because we had
Sometimes you take like a wheatgrass thing.
Oh,
you're like,
man.
Dude, we had a powder.
Yeah.
Wheatgrass. If you get ready to do it, was a powder we took for a while that was dark green, and we'd be sitting in the kitchen
our
like
nose,
looking at each other like, "All right, we're doing this, right?
Yeah.
We're doing this." But
that's why when I
Athletic
first
Greens
tried
taste
this,
decent.
I was blown away. So to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/Titus. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/Titus to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Love this stuff. It's great that we have him here on the week that we have that too, because I've totally been using you.
But with all the stress of the world, to go by the Armageddon update, try to be healthy, man.
Yeah.
And it's weird because I've noticed, what I've noticed recently, this has just happened in the last couple of weeks since the war kind of started in Ukraine, and we all kind of faced the fact that, oh shit, this dude's crazy as fuck. Putin may be sick. So there was a rumor that he's got colon cancer.
No, it's not a rumor. You just saw one person that you don't know say that on Twitter, and now you're calling it a rumor.
Russia 97328 bot is
No, it was a dude that I follow all the time. It was actually Dr. His name is Dr. something.
You made that up. You
No,
just
I'm not.
made
No,
him
I'm
a
not.
doctor.
No, I'm not. No, Dr. Jack Brown. I think.
Dr. Oz.
No, it's not Dr.
Dr. Phil.
By the way, can we stop right now? Herschel Walker.
Dr. Cliff Huxtable.
Yeah, he's great. He's good. Man, that guy. I heard that guy.
Beaker was
Best
his name.
sleep doctor I've
Best
ever visited.
sleep doctor ever, and he's a gynecologist. Weird. Dr. Huxtable was a gynecologist.
I mean, comedy's about forgetting your problems. Who better?
But so why is it everybody, Herschel Walker, you're a football player, you don't know shit about government, you're just popular. I wish and I'm sure this is all through history.
Yep.
But why the fuck do all these people, Dr. Mehmet Oz thinks he can run?
Marjorie Taylor Greene is commenting on economic issues, all kinds, national security issues, and she owned a CrossFit gym.
Right.
And ran uncontested. That's why she moved there.
She moved carpetbagger, yeah. She was total carpetbagger. She just moved to a town. Carpetbagger. She moved to a town.
Okay. But it usually meant from the south to the north because, never mind.
No, well, yeah, that's what it meant. No, it means that when you go to another district and run where you don't live to win. And Dr. Oz, same thing. His address isn't even where he's running for.
Yeah, it's pretty shady.
But here's the thing, Dr. Oz, I will tell you this. I will give you a shot if Oprah comes out and goes, "This is the guy." If Oprah
oh my gosh, now you're going to take political advice from Oprah. You're part of the problem.
No, but she hasn't even backed the guy. If the person who hired you, if the person who hired you won't even, who made you famous won't endorse you, I'm sorry.
What about like somebody that knows what they're talking about when it comes?
Who do we
to
have though?
Political
Like,
stage.
but who do we have?
All we have is Titus.
I don't know shit. I
And
admit
Oprah,
that. By the way, I
apparently.
admit that. But at
There's
least
a
I'm on the.
disclaimer under every.
But by the way, I don't say. Here's the thing. I know I don't shit. I know I'm a comedian and a dumbass. But I research the guys who know and the guys who figure it out, and then I go, okay, this guy says this. I guess says this. I will never use me being a dumb shit and me not knowing to say some heinous shit and then go, hey, by the way, I'm a comedian. No, I always try to be on the right side of it at least, you know?
Especially if Oprah confirms.
Especially if Oprah confirms it. Don't you think it's weird that she hired him and hasn't come out and said, yeah, I know him, he's a good guy? Even that she hasn't done.
She doesn't.
I think she's just trying to like not fuck up her bag. You know
Has
what I mean?
anybody? Has she?
Oprah can't fuck up. There's no way Oprah can fuck it up.
I'm so confused.
If she
by this
came out and
conversation.
started doing like political, you know, I think half of her audience, you know, my mom like grew up watching Oprah while I was growing up. She was already grown up, but she was watching, you know, daytime TV.
Right.
Those people don't want, you know.
Is your
Yeah, you get a vote. You get a vote.
is your mom right wing?
She refuses to talk about it, so probably.
Yeah, totally. 100%.
But she's like, her whole thing is like, I've never told him who I voted for ever. I never will. I don't talk about politics. I never mention
But
anything.
in the
Does
voting
your
booth, she's got
dad
Trump
know?
hands.
She watches Fox, but she
will
just
flip.
likes people to talk to her. I think she doesn't really
Care.
It's just on, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And I hate it. I'm like, turn this. It's like
Yeah.
brainwashing you, you
Yeah.
know. But she'll just never talk about it. So I don't even know what she thinks, and which is
smart,
probably
though.
the best
But
policy.
you have family members that are pretty right wing.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean, my brother turned Republican a little bit because he got a
Money.
little rich, but
Yeah.
that's
That
different.
happens.
Yeah,
Totally
yeah.
happens.
That's a tax Republican. That's not like,
exactly.
you know.
Yeah, but if people understood, you should tell your brother that every time the Democrats have been in power, the economy does better every time.
He's more likely to vote for Kanye than Trump, though, so I don't know.
Yeah,
what's
he's
going
definitely
on.
voting for Kanye. DL Hughley and Kanye are going at it.
They are?
Ooh, they've been going at it. Well, DL, I guess it was a death threat or something to DL, and then DL came back really funny, and then Kanye came
On
back.
Twitter?
Kanye's like, your jokes are so bad, I have to explain them to my friends, and I was like, how dumb are your friends, bro? Like, you hang around with obviously the dumbest people.
DL's
ever.
jokes are pretty obvious. It's like you don't. There's
He's not obvious. He's just a good
I don't
comedian.
mean obvious in a bad way. I mean
Yeah, you
like
don't have to-
clearly funny. He's not asking you to solve the Pythagorean theorem to
Right.
understand. It's like it's just a like setup and punchline. It's
Is that math with snakes?
no, that's the Pythagorean theorem.
Oh, sorry, didn't know.
You got him confused.
So here's the thing about politics. A lot of people say this: don't get involved in politics. Shut up. Just be a comedian. Do that. You know, quit being. You're a singer. Don't fucking say. I see it all the time, and I'm like, at what? I get there was a point in the 70s, 80s where it was like, okay, everything's going well. Both the Republicans and the Democrats, they are different, but at least they work together on shit. We're at a place now where if you're not involved in politics, you ain't paying attention. Or if you don't have an opinion about it, don't you think? I mean, we're to the point now, like, I don't want to do this. I really don't. I'd rather just be doing, let's do a goofy bit but we're going to lose democracy. We've got a bunch of fucking people on the right side right now that are Marjorie Taylor Greene is supporting Russia.
Yeah.
Like Boebert's supporting Russia.
I feel conflicted like that, too, because a lot of comedians are, ranting about politics, and I'm going like, I don't want to do, but then I feel guilty because I'm like, these people are evil. So
Yeah.
like,
You
I
sneak it
get
in.
that you should be. I do have a couple
You're
lines.
sneaking
Yeah,
in
yeah.
where it's blah, 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 I'm goofy, and then all of a sudden he just drops this thing about, oh man, that white noise.
The cop joke. Oh, the white noise machine's probably
the
the
white
favorite
noise
one.
joke
Yeah.
is like people stop and they go, oh.
And you fixed it too because I was mumbling through it, and you're like,
We all do that.
fucking enunciate, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah, we work he has I bet you have it's a double-edged sword working with me because I
like it.
I take
Yeah.
responsibility for a little bit why anything good or horrible that happens to you. I think I'm proud of you. And so
You should be.
He goes, that joke used to work. And I go, do you know why? And he goes, no, it doesn't get what it used to. And he got so comfortable with it. We've done this. We all do this. You get a joke that kills, that pounds.
It was literally like almost a double applause break. Like people would get it twice.
yeah,
you know?
yeah, because they'd think about it.
Yeah.
And
I
then
hate when you lose a joke, man. I hate that, especially one that kills,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden it just goes away.
Yeah.
Same
and you can't land it.
words.
Can't land it.
Max,
Yep.
I've got one of those right now.
Which one? Well, so I told him he was just running through it. He got so used to
Yeah.
a killing. He was
Slow
just going.
down.
He was going. Brr, And he was just going, and they couldn't hear it. And then the joke was white noise is the punchline, and he was pushing it together. And I said, you have to space it out so they hear what you're saying. And he did it. Kills, applause break next night. And I was in the back like, yeah. It's tough to be the king. No, sorry.
No, it's not
the
tough.
king in Spokane at a club.
Friday second show.
On a Friday second
Yeah,
show.
you're worried this
I'm such a badass.
you're worried this Timonium video is going to ruin your career, but it's like you're in Spokane.
I'm here.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, you're right.
By the way, this episode also brought to you by HelloFresh, another one of our favorite companies. Have you ever used HelloFresh?
I have,
before?
but I am. I don't like doing the time investment to actually cook the stuff, so I stopped this. It was good, but I'm lazy.
Well, also, I think so. HelloFresh. What I like about it is that she likes to cook. She's good at it. So, but it's quick. And it's all together, and you don't have to go, do I have that? Do I have that? Do I have that? It's there. Wait till when you get a regular girlfriend.
And you're home.
When I'm home,
Wherever,
when I move out of my trailer, and
like they take 30 minutes or less, so I'm not sure that's that much of a
Yeah, you're
time
lazy.
investment.
Listen, let me
just
just
like-
make up excuses and leave me be. All right, I got my.
And then you actually learn how to cook when you're doing this because they
It's
tell
like
you how to do
training
it.
wheels for cooking.
Yes.
Totally.
Okay.
Even
That's
for
what it was
me,
for
though,
me.
because I know how to cook. My mom had me cooking from the time I think I was 2. I was on a little stool with her. But this shows you different ways to cook stuff or new foods that you never cooked before, and you've completely love them.
So here's what I get about it. If you cook it all, but if let's say you're a dude and you don't like to cook, and you're not as lazy as Andrew, because it's really no time at all. I found when I did it, I can make it look like the picture. All of a sudden, I went from a guy who had just put some slop together that wouldn't kill you to all of a sudden I'm making food that looks like a meal. That's what I liked about it. And good. God, man, are some of this
It's
stuff
really
good.
shockingly good.
Yeah.
I am always like, oh, that wasn't that hard. And it always looks just like the picture and is shockingly
When you do
good
it. Mine doesn't exactly look like the picture. But
and it's 72% cheaper than a restaurant meal of the same quality, which as comedians, well, not him, but you and I are like, yeah.
But aren't you tired of eating? Like, don't you get tired of eating just grabbing and go?
And you can pick too. Every week I go and I pick the recipes I want for that week. You can add more if you see something you want to try.
Or how the microwave, you just throw something in the microwave, it turns it into a sponge.
Yeah, it does. Are you talking about that breakfast sandwich you made the other day?
Yeah, I'm literally eating.
Well, it's so hard for Titus to pick a restaurant on the road too, because like I can't go to Jimmy John's. The guy shoots rhinos. And
oh yeah, totally.
Pita Pit's owned by a Saudi oil
No,
executive.
Peter, we went to Pita Pit. Peter, good. And quote. Can I quote my urban friend? We're driving around in Spokane, and I go, Pita Pit. He goes, yo man, I fuck with some Pita Pit.
Also, if you want to do fit and wholesome, they have that. You can do healthier stuff, low calorie, carb conscious stuff like that. So go to HelloFresh.com/Titus16 and use code Titus16, that's 16, for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. That's HelloFresh.com/Titus16.
We have it at home right now.
America's #1 meal kit.
No,
we have 2 in the fridge
right now.
It's a no-brainer. I don't understand how that challenges you.
You get used to just
That's
eating.
just why you don't have a relationship. If you're
Dude,
confronted
that's the only thing.
by HelloFresh, who pre-portions everything with a big picture card, and that's too much.
You just see me with puzzles. I'm like, oh, why is the light over here?
Do you know how much work women are and men? But I'm saying for you, whichever. Either
we
one.
meet on the dragons.
And we did last night, but I'm back. Okay. I'm back.
She's really so.
We
Andrew,
moved on to dragons because Groucho was humping his dragon last night.
just so you know, Andrew's
we were
been a friend for a very long time. So the constant ripping is kind of like I pick him at the airport yesterday.
He threatened to throw me out of the car.
Just gets in the car and starts fucking ripping on me, and it was funny.
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Get out!" And
it's
we were doing
constant.
70, and I was like, "Get out!"
You and I rip on him pretty
We do,
harshly
we do.
as well. I
But-
usually wait till I have
but
a
you know what, though?
microphone and you've just left the stage.
What I've loved to see happen with him is his career keeps going. He's headlining. He's going to a Netflix audition in New York. I mean, he's the stunt double for Reese Witherspoon. It's really gotten to a place where his career is killing it.
Oh, he has heart glasses. Wow.
These are my on my album cover. These are the glasses. So these are
Dude,
my...
your first album, is this the first one with what's the one you pouring when you were dressed?
Pimp.
Oh, that one.
The
first- your very
first
that's
album.
funny. That's I get around. That one we don't. That's not available anywhere.
Why?
That just it's old.
Moved
and
on
it's,
and looked
it's
back
like
and-
8 years into comedy, so
Yeah.
it's like I was okay. But the Dry Bar thing, if you're on Dry Bar comedy, like Netflix for Mormons, that special's got a couple million views online, and then the new one's called For the Wrong Reasons,
Right.
And so that's available anywhere you get comedy, Spotify and Pandora. And
Go
stuff.
see him, guys. You really like him. He has a
And I got a bunch of stuff on my YouTube channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, just give me a Google.
But you know what is that you what I love about you is you give a shit about writing. You write
Yeah.
5 pages a week,
Yep.
which so many comics don't. Even me, I go is I finish a show, I work on that show all the
I'm
time.
more of like jokes. You're more of like manifesto, you know?
Exactly. Well, I go to my cabin in the
Yeah,
woods
yeah.
and I just lock myself down. I'm gonna make a difference with this piece.
He made it a typewriter.
People are going to listen to me.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, it's a typewriter.
Cling.
No, I'd use the IBM with the ball. Tink, 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 tink,
A
tink,
quill
tink, tink, tink.
pen.
I don't even know what that was. What you
Don't you?
just
The
did.
IBM's had this. So remember when the IBM tried to
Did you
change
just
the
say a
typewriter?
quilt pen?
Quill pen?
Oh, I was
no,
gonna
I
say.
know. I'm not.
Okay, well,
Yeah, I mean, earlier,
Okay,
I get
yeah,
it. But
Dearest Prudence, this show opens.
what were you saying? Sorry, I just quilt
Oh,
pen.
work ethic. He was praising my work ethic, which he taught me. So
Yeah, but
Titus trained and
It
raised.
is harder for me what you do whenever I have parts of my show like the cancer intro stuff where
Yeah.
it's joke,
Yeah.
joke. It's so easy to remember the story
Right.
if you're telling a story, but joke is
Yeah.
there's no
Because you just go, oh, this is an 8-minute story. Start it.
yeah.
Hit the play button and
It,
go.
it cues
Yeah.
you basically,
Yeah.
but
You also
with-
lived it. You know it. I have a
Right.
big problem. Same problem with that opening COVID bit about the COVID relationship because it's all
Yes,
relationship
that's-
jokes. It's hard to remember.
or the control you section of this show. That
Yeah.
is like, and so dense words. Andrew, Kyle Rittenhouse, Jim, Jordan.
I remembered those this week though. Thank to him by the way.
He's off his computer, by the way.
Yay!
This episode also brought to you by Solo Stove. Speaking of Armageddon prepping, you know who would love this? Is
Bart,
Bart.
yeah.
Yes. So Solo Stove, you saw ours. It's sitting in the backyard up on the thing. It's such a I'm not going to lie. I told you guys this. I first became interested in these because of the last year of the Trump presidency and then COVID.
She thought
and stuff.
everything was going to end.
Yes.
So she was planning her Armageddon list.
We needed a
Skinny
way
Pop, Solo
to
Stove.
get heat and be able to cook.
Yep.
That we could manage ourselves, just go gather. I was actually thinking the other day, like, okay, if we couldn't go to the grocery store to buy the pre-cut wood anymore, we need an axe. We need it, and for other reasons, but we need an axe because this thing actually uses real wood to burn.
But also the way it's designed, and the smoke is really low, and it leaves the ash nice. It's like
it's a smokeless fire pit.
Right. So we have we also have a fire pit, a gas fire pit that we have to hook up with bottles and stuff. This one, man, put a chunk of wood in, get it lit.
Like glass
it
rock.
lights.
That's for looks. This is for.
But also the
function.
way they built it. Okay, so I again I'm a dude, so I'm
Right.
like, how does this thing work? Well, they put holes in it so the air goes around the wood.
Yeah.
So that because as we know, starting a fire up at the cabin in our regular fireplace, you have to make sure there's you have to build like a chimney.
So this is
built like
stainless
that.
steel like drum, and it's got 360-degree airflow system, so maximizes the efficiency while limiting the smoke that comes out of it. So you're not going to smell like smoke after sitting out there with it. Easy to light. You just use a few bits of starter.
glasses
Portable. You can take it on the
I want
road.
to roll my eyes at you without you noticing. You know?
He's used to it.
Yeah.
Portable. You can take it on camping trips, whatever like that.
Very small.
Yeah, it's really cool. And super easy. We needed a fire for dummies. Shop now, get up to 30% off of fire pits all month long, and use promo code Titus at checkout to get an extra $20 off of that, plus a lifetime warranty and free 30-day returns. Just go to solostove.com and you get $20 off the sales that they're doing when you use promo code Titus. So you can combine that.
I like it. I think it's working.
S'mores. We need to make s'mores.
I want everybody to know we just bought a new computer for the shop. We're actually updating, so the shop is really thrashed right now. That's why Andrew's here to help us put it back together.
Andrew didn't know that's why he's here.
He did not know, but he didn't rent a car like a
Free
dummy. So
labor.
now you either live here or you
I
help
got
us
an Uber.
finish.
I know where the show is. No, I'm fine. Happy to help. I mean, someone needs to lift the heavy things for you.
Thank you, Ken and I. Yes, Ken and I.
With
Well,
his
yeah,
noodles.
with yoga guy. Yeah, yoga's gonna help me out.
Hey man, I downloaded a stretching app and it's changed my life to stretch every single day.
Yeah,
you know?
no, I was
cramped on airplanes.
Yes,
I knocked on the door
yes.
last night. I'm like, hey man, I tell you something because I was gonna be funny. We even when there's no one around, we give each other shit. And I go, I just want you to know, you're gonna help me at the shop tomorrow because I really didn't want you to stay here, so I'm trying to drive you away. And I go, what? And I go, what are you doing? Stretching every night, bro.
And with a bun.
Yep.
I haven't
you had
seen
the
the
man
bun yet.
Well, the hair goes everywhere. You know, it's for eating.
And this is because of
it's for-
COVID. You just decided to let it go, and then
Well,
you
I
start.
shaved my head at the beginning because people were like, "Oh, I need a haircut." I'm like, "It's not that hard. No
Yeah.
one, you know, you don't need to impress anybody." And then this is just
Clearly, you don't care about
yeah,
that.
well,
Yeah.
But now this seems like a lot of work now. Like at one point you realize, oh, I've done it for so long, I don't want to cut it off. What a waste.
yeah, it's 2 years in the making. Yeah,
Do your parents like it?
yeah, a lot of people like it. I mean, they could be lying to me. That's
Probably.
possible.
It's
You know
Yeah.
what you say is like, hey, and whenever if he gives you shit about it, go, hey, I'm missing this to
I'm
Child
growing
Cancer
Titus a
Center of
wig because
America.
you know
Yeah,
he's
child
getting a
can-
little thin,
I am
and
not
Rachel's
getting
cutting it a little close.
I am
and
not getting a little thin. Son of a bitch. Am
every
I
time
getting a
she
little-
cuts it, it might be your last haircut. You never know.
Speaking of that, you know what I don't have? I ran out of my my Harry's hair stuff, and that's why my hair looks like this.
So
Where do you get
I like
Harry's?
it, actually.
What?
Where do you get Harry's?
Both you assholes need to shut up. So I go.
He asked me yesterday, "Hey babe, can I buy Harry's on the internet?"
I know I could. I was
Here's the
hoping
thing.
you were sitting on bed on your computer.
Not
I was
only-
hoping she was going to go, babe. Let me order it for you right now, but she didn't.
That's not what you said.
I know.
Use your words. Not only the layers of that are not only
yeah.
if everyone knows you can get everything on the internet, but also they've been advertising with us for 5 or 6 years where every week I read the website out where you can buy Harry's product.
Shut up.
Exactly.
You're the only person I've ever been around, you and him, by the way, where anything I say is filed into a computer.
Can be used against you
Yes.
in the court of law.
Spit right back out at me as in the tone of what an asshole
Yeah.
every time. And
Okay, I pictured a top knot type man bun. So okay.
Well,
It's
this
a little
is just a little messy.
It's
you
a
know?
little more Asian. I like that. I have a little more like that's a little
Sumo.
more sumo. Yeah,
Yeah.
a little more,
I like
little more.
Well, I'm still trying to learn how. This is my first time having long hair
God,
too.
wait,
So
me
I gotta
saying
figure
he's a
out-
little more Asian. There's nothing about him ever.
Let's clip that.
Yeah,
and,
yeah. So a little more martial arts style, I like it. Yeah, a little more Steven Seagal. Yeah, but if Steven Seagal, basically had if it was a fetus.
Okay.
Used to say I had this soothing smell of placenta on me.
You sure that wasn't me?
I think it was
Maybe.
she said
It was me.
He's still
You said
I also
She used to say-
said that you let me
Dark
know
Jerry
that I would
Seinfeld.
not have been attracted to him
Oh,
when
yeah.
he was younger.
Yeah.
What a nice weird insult. So do me a favor. Let's go over where you were going to be. What's coming up next for you? Your next gigs?
Oh, I'm on tour with Steve Hofstetter a lot. So
Are you still doing that?
Yeah.
When's the next one?
That'll start in April if I don't get this other thing. You know,
Okay.
I got a couple irons in the fire here. We'll see what happens with that. But I'm Seattle based, so if you're in the Seattle area, and I also
comedy
rent.
club.
You know, I kind of. Wherever I can get a fan base, you know, I've got these viral videos now. So I just did a tour to like Shreveport and
He went all over.
yeah.
Shreveport. What'd you do in Shreveport? Did you rent the theater? Did you
He
do
went
anything?
to-
I'm not like a theater guy, you know.
He went to
we did a
Lafayette.
barbecue joint attached to a gas station.
How'd that go?
It was good. It was good.
They're used to it there.
Yeah. And then some guy showed up with a giant snake in Lafayette
yep.
and Mobile, and yeah. So I go all over. I've performed in 48 States. And
I don't need you to justify your talent. Where can they see your stuff right now? Where can they go see Dry Bar?
Just on my YouTube, youtube.com/Andrew J. Rivers.
Can I find that on the internet?
All right, we have to wrap up with the Highlander, but dude, thanks for being on the show. And I got to tell you, man, we love that you're in our life.
Thank you.
You're
It's
not
an honor
invited. You're not invited at the house for a minute. You have to have a break now, but you're good for this week's fine. But
2 days is a lot. I understand. Me repeating all your idiosyncrasies back at you.
I know. You just nail me down. You know me long enough now, and I'm like, shut up. I don't need to hear this from anybody. Can I get some people like Kanye around me? That just tell me cool.
Just
perfect.
agree with me. Yeah. Thanks for
buddy.
having me on.
Thanks, brother.
See it.
Thanks.
I don't get one?
Oh, of course.
I got a left.
You're the most important one.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back the Highlander. The Highlander.
Highlander.
Yay. And now, before we wrap this up, as always, we end the Titus podcast with a fun fact. And you know what, right? We could use some fun right
That'd
now.
be fun.